Hey, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and today I'm joined by Squeaks.
Squeakers.
Squeakers. Few people know that was his original name back in the day, and it got shortened to Squeaks. So Squeaks is the plural version of Squeakers. How's your week been, Mike?
Busy, but nice. How about yours?
Good. Also busy. We got spring break next week, guys, so there won't be a new Geek Freaks. So we're just trying to get things caught up on that so that we can enjoy a week off.
All the nude beaches we're going to be going to during that spring break.
Oh, that's exactly the kind of spring break we do, like in our 40s and late 30s for you. That's exactly what we're looking forward to. Oh my god. By the way, so we go to the Capital Creative Showcase every year. It's a convention we really like, and it showcases a lot of the local creative talent here in Sacramento. And we're going to be going again this year, participating even more than before. We are now partnering with them. The Capital Creative Showcase is going to be on May 9th. The reason I want to make sure you guys know about this is because if you guys use code GeekFreaks right now, if you buy a ticket now, you get $5 off the $15 ticket. I mean, it's a hell of a deal. So it's only $10 to walk in the door. Come hang out with us. We have panels planned. Working with SDC on this has been very interesting to see all the different things that we could do to impact the community. So come out, meet new people, meet the developers, meet creative people. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Links in the description. Again, code GeekFreaks to get $5 off a $15 ticket. I'm on the board for the SDC. I've been really just like learning so much about how to throw a Comic-Con, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's been really interesting. And we're trying to make sure we have a lot of stuff for you guys to do there. It's going to be a blast.
Thank you.
Cool. This episode is also brought to you by our Patreon. If you guys want to join our Patreon, we're putting out early release episodes over there. And it's where we drop the free promo codes to different movies from our sponsors. We've dropped them there first. And so if you guys want access to those, head over to our Patreon. Then after that, let's go ahead and get right into the news. I want to start things off with Star Fox making a cameo in the new Super Mario movie. So this was something that we kind of saw like maybe on the edge, maybe a little peek of him. But now it's been confirmed. We got an actual poster for him, and Glenn Powell is playing him.
Yeah.
I love me some Star Fox, man. Star Fox 64, that's my jam. Used to be able to speedrun that thing. I am very, very happy to have Star Fox in the wider world.
Yeah, like what you were saying, we were getting those like glimpses. I was like, okay, possibility. Yeah, that does like him when it was in that frame of him and his shoulder, his arm, whatnot.
Yeah.
And now that it's being confirmed, and besides loving some Star Fox, I love me some Glenn Paltrow. Is that his name? Paltrow. I always feel like I say his name horribly wrong.
Glenn Powell.
I always want to call him Paltrow. I don't know where I get that from, but
I don't know, man. That's all. That's all.
No, but I do that all the time, only with him that I call a different name. But yeah, I think this is great. This is that expansion of that universe. I think Galaxy works perfect because of obviously playing the old Mario Galaxy game that he jumps to different worlds and whatnot. So this could be opening that multiverse, maybe idea that the Mario creators are thinking about potentially. Star Fox has just been around for our lifetimes. You mentioned the Star Fox 64, which is obviously the staple, but also like I remember playing on the GameCube Star Fox Adventures, where you're like helping like the dinosaur people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you get like a tank in that one too?
Yeah, I don't remember the two. I remember a lot of just walking around and you have the staff and you're helping this other like female fox. And I think it was like mind blowing to me. Like, hold on, I'm Star Fox, not in a ship. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what we'll do with Star Fox in here. I hope that because it's Glenn Powell, we're gonna get,
I'm like watching you see a second monitor. I imagine it's like 150. It just says Powell on
it. Take out troll, whatever Powell troll I'm trying to do. That we're gonna get more of him. But with the Mario series anyway, we've been getting some star-studded actors and actresses playing these roles anyway, so it doesn't shock me that we got a big name for Star Fox. Yeah.
Now, the last movie we got a lot of DK, more than I expected, played by Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people saying this will be a cameo. I'm hoping it's the DK levels. Do you think that's even an option?
I disagree with it just being a cameo. Like I said earlier, we were talking about I was talking about the Galaxy references and he could pop into this world and whatnot. I think we're going to get a lot of that, and I think we've already seen that with like the Sand World when Luigi and Mario are riding on bikes. So I think we're going to get a good portion of Star Fox, but I don't think it might be on the level like we got Donkey Kong in the first movie.
Yeah, that was a real treat.
Yeah.
Knowing that we have a DK in this world, we also have Star Fox. God, I just keep thinking back to the Smash Brothers cutscenes. that are just peak Nintendo cutscenes. We have a live action Zelda movie in the
Mhm.
works. I mean, we're kind of building out a universe.
Yeah, and it'd be so cool if we got a snippet of like the live action Zelda in a universe. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
this world looks weird, but it's like just reality, like us, you
Yeah,
know?
or at least those voice
Um,
actors, right? Like, and then that
yeah,
means that there's probably like a live action Mario out there
that'd
somewhere or
be
something
neat.
like that.
Rumors are right, leading up to some like big baddie of what would be the Smash Brothers tournament, and
Yeah.
then like maybe coming in with the hand, which would be an interesting villain in a movie screen. But I think we're gonna get to maybe leading that part or to that point. I
Mhm.
don't know if it'll be executed perfectly because I kind of like where it's at right now. I like keeping it separate
Yeah.
and enjoying this movies. The Mario movies is phenomenal, and I expect nothing but amazing things with the second one. So it's a tough one. Would you like to see all the? I mean, of course, I think we would like to see all the characters together. But do you think it'll work well?
Yeah. There's definitely a thing where it's like, I just want to smash the action figures together, right? But you're right in the fact that it's
I
way
like
more
that.
important to make good stories because
Mhm.
that first movie was so well done. This movie has every bit of the cadence the first one did. So as long as you guys are keeping it to where the old millennials are enjoying the references, the young kids are enjoying meeting new characters, I'm cool with that. I don't need you guys to smash everything together. Not everything needs to be MCU. That being said, I really like having these little cameos in here with Star Fox and whatnot.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping that, next maybe is Kirby or something like that. So,
yeah,
because I think a Meta Knight would do quite well. I'm not opposed to it, but I definitely get that we don't necessarily need to MCU everything.
yeah, yeah,
Speaking of Nintendo, there are somewhat confirmed rumors, I'll say that,
yeah.
for Star Fox getting a new game this summer, which that alone I think kind of makes sense
Mhm.
because of his movie's appearance. And the next thing is that Ocarina of Time, probably the most beloved Zelda game in history, is getting a remake, both expected this year. Now, I want to reiterate that these were put out by a scooper online, and then VGC, a very good site, said their sources say it's real, but they're not saying what those sources are. And then IGN and Polygon and stuff like that, they're all reiterating it and echoing it.
Of course, yeah.
What do you think about this? Is this in the realm of possibility?
Oh, most definitely. Look, like Zelda's just off to a great start. I feel like with the Nintendo Switch 2, with the upgraded versions of Tears of the Kingdom, and then we got the Hyrule Warriors. And with the movie being released, that Zelda's going to start becoming that household name for Nintendo again. So I feel like you said right now, like it could be arguably probably is the most beloved Zelda game of all time. They have it on the Nintendo expansion right now for that 64 if you play for like the online service.
Yeah.
But why not have I like how we say remake and it's not a remaster. So I'm very interested in seeing like I mean shit, modern technology will be like with these characters and comparing it to the old version, just getting that imagery, new imagery, I guess. Would I love to see this? Heck yes. Oh yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Day one buy, right? So
Oh, I think so for
um
sure.
outside of the scope of making it 100% a copycat,
Yeah.
I want to see a little different, right? Maybe fix some
Okay.
things that could have been improved. Or maybe it could be not so much storytelling. I want the story to be the same, but maybe some type of mechanics or something. Maybe a different type of gameplay.
What about
Um,
like, or I'm not MMO, but what about like an open world like we see with Tears of the Kingdom and stuff?
yeah,
Would you want them to try to implement that?
and I get that a little bit of awkward time. You are on that horse riding around. Maybe make it
Hmm.
feel more worthwhile the journey or adventure. I don't know the right terms that we could say, but just like the Red Dead riding a horse type thing,
Yeah, yeah,
but not make
yeah.
it
Larger
too
scale, make it
crazy.
to because I mean, the
Yeah,
Switch 2 could finally handle that.
heck
Really,
yeah. Now, would you like to see it as a copycat cleaner image, or would you want to see maybe something a little branched off as well?
I would want it to be as faithful as possible
Hmm.
myself. I don't think they need to change much, but in that vein, also make it less expensive. So because the game is so much smaller, if you're going to stick to being as faithful as possible,
Yeah,
maybe make it a $39 game. I think that's what they charged for Advanced Wars,
I
which
think
was
so.
just a
Yeah.
remake, but staying
Hmm.
fully faithful. That seems ideal to me. I think the benefit to Ocarina of Time is there are so many people that are not pulling the trigger on the Switch 2 right now because they don't see a game that's really pulling them to it.
Yeah.
This is that game, in my opinion. So keep it cheaper and sell more systems. I think
Yeah.
that's the way to go.
I mean, that's a good idea, right? And you're definitely right with people just pulling the trigger. I know somebody that just recently pulled the trigger and it's been out for how long now with multiple. I was selling him the point. There's multiple Switch 2 games now, finally, that can kind of,
Mhm.
keep you going for a lot longer than the initial release. But I like the idea that you're keeping into is if you keep maybe like, okay, you clean it up, you make it look really good, but we're still shortening the length of the game. I like that instead of making it some Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, 50+ hour game. It's not
Yeah.
needed. Tell the story and let's stick to it. And maybe that kind of harpens down the open worldness of it. But I mean, that's okay because I would love to just go back into that world and play this game.
For a lot of the people in our generation, which are going to be day one buyers,
Mhm.
we want to relive what we lived as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I think we would be fine with it being faithful. Plus, that generation also have jobs and have kids themselves. They don't necessarily need another 50-hour game. I'm 45
Yeah.
hours in right now, 45 hours in on Fire Red again. I mean, I played that as a kid and I'm playing it right now and
I
I'm 45 hours in.
So I was on my Switch. I'm playing Resident Evil 9 right now. My
Yeah.
wife gifted me the generation pack for our
Mhm.
anniversary. And I was looking at who was online. And I saw you once. And I was mind blown with how many hours you already put in into the Pokemon. I was like, what the shit? Oh man, I love it though. I love it though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what I'm doing
impressive.
is instead of reading before I go to bed, I got the Switch next to my bed. And so I'll put, and that son of a bitch game, like any other Pokemon game, I'm in there. It's literally me. I remember so well being in like middle school. No, it has to be even younger than that. And like just deciding to I just got to Saffron City or whatever. I have to overnight this game. And just
Yeah.
my first time playing a video game overnight and being dead the next day. I'm in the same exact boat because it's like, oh man, I just made it out to this certain island that has, legendary.
Yeah.
I gotta keep going. And so
Yeah.
I'm go to sleep later, but I'm already in bed and I got the dogs and I'm watching a good movie or something. But yeah, it's definitely got me, man. And now it's because it's Fire Red, they have the part where you're able to get Gen 2 Pokemon too. So now that's what I'm
Mm.
doing. Is I'm trying to fill the Pokedex of Gen 2 right now. But I've got like all the legendaries and stuff. So it's been fun.
And that's what if they nail this one, we're gonna have that same feeling of like walking
Yeah.
around in the very opening, walking around in that forest, trying to get out of it by going through certain like tunnels, I guess, or branches, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, just having those
Mhm.
moments come back to us. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
And then for the Star Fox game, they're saying they want it to feel more like the old school Star Fox, more arcade like.
Okay.
I think they could have that, but I think it would be a disservice to the Switch too to not have some of the elements that we were talking about, where like he's walking around a little bit. I
Yeah.
remember there's one of the games where he had a tank. I thought it was on GameCube, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I
So I don't want them
know.
to necessarily just try to make a space shooter. Make that a part of the game, but not the sole part of the game.
I totally agree with you because then it's too much of there's no advancement like you said to switch to, right? Like show it off.
Yeah,
Like do more. Like give
yeah,
us both of those worlds because with the Star Fox Adventures, if I remember right, is very, very, very little if there was the Eni of the flying around. But then you got the 64,
correct.
which is all flying around. Like you're the Switch too. Like give me a little bit of both, like you're saying. I think that'd be perfect.
And there could totally be an arcade mode within the game where it's just doing I mean, just doing like a series of shooting around in space things as well. That doesn't necessarily need to be a separate game. Make it a mode in there too, where it's just that. Like I want to pick it up and fly around.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
totally see that. The Switch
Yeah.
2 is far more powerful than it gets credit for right now. And I think that it's kind of being wasted until they get some real monster games on there. I think the DK
Yeah.
game was a big game, but other than that, I don't see any game on there as impressive as they could possibly do. So
Yeah. And the Resident Evil is a test to that statement. It looks beautiful. It runs
yeah,
great at times. You feel the frame rate drops, but I will say sometimes I don't pay attention to
okay.
drops because I'm too scared or running around avoiding zombies. So realistically, my mind's not in that mode right now. So,
Yeah.
but at times when it's staying at that 60 frames per second, and you got the graphics that look beautiful, you can tell like, damn, this is something special.
Do you have Cyberpunk on that system?
I do, and that runs great as well.
That's
Yeah,
wild to me. Cyberpunk is a game I expect to put it to the test.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
impressive.
yeah. No, really good. I think I'm like 15, 20 hours in. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Disney now. We're heading over to Moana. We just got our live action trailer for this. First question, what do you think about The Rock?
Not just The Rock.
That long sigh says it all.
Not no, no, no. Check it out. Not just The
Okay,
Rock,
okay.
but the trailer overall.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. I think it looks perfect.
Really? Okay, okay.
Honestly, I
Sell
was
me on it, man.
surprised with
Because
this.
right now I'm looking at The Rock in that wig and I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, let me sell you on this, and then by the end of it, I'll be saying you're welcome. So, check
Okay.
it. I think Disney's finally realizing they need to get their shit together with the live action ones And what was so
Okay.
successful prior was making them like what people fell in love with. Stop changing shit like you did with Snow White. You need to go back
Yeah.
to like what you did with Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella. Okay. Those two live action movies are my favorite live action movies of Disney, of all of them, right? Because they felt like they stayed true to what people fell in love with. Snow
Okay.
White could have been just a simple, you know, fell asleep, prince comes in, kiss, yada yada yada, the dwarfs, the queen. Stick to it. People would love it. People still rock that merch, okay, from the old cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Stick with it. When I watch this trailer, I see exactly those two things, like the Cinderella and the Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast had a couple music notes to it, songs, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like we're not going to get. I feel like this is going to be more Cinderella like, where we're not going to get too much of the music, but we're going to get those references. One of my favorite part was like the whole wink saying you're welcome. I think we're going to
Mm-hmm.
get that version of it instead of just like the whole song. Watching this trailer, dead on. Like it was to me, it's perfect. It looks
It
exactly
does
like
feel
the
very
animated
one for
movie.
one. I mean, it is spot on to it.
That's what I
We were just
want.
talking about
That's what
Ocarina
I
of Time.
want.
Do you want faithful or not? And this is faithful for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But obviously it seems like your reaction to my reaction, you don't share the same thoughts possibly. So are you worried about something? Or?
I am open to it because I think Moana is carried by its music, and because I think it's got one of the best
Yeah, yeah.
library of songs. That and plus, I think seeing the visuals of Hawaii like in live action is gonna be really cool. Like the big
Yeah.
panning shots of her out on the ocean is gonna look so much better than say Snow White or whatever, and the fake dwarves or whatever they picked for that.
The High
Um,
School Musical scene at the very end.
yeah. So I think Moana's got a chance of being a really good standalone movie. The only thing that kind of took me out of it is I'm sitting here still debating if The Rock looks good in that wig. I think it just doesn't sit well on his head. Immediately I'm like, it feels like he went to Turkey and got the haircut or the hair transplant thing everybody's doing right now. Everybody goes to Turkey for that. And it's like, it didn't take, bro. You need to go back. Double
Okay,
up.
look. Not everyone is blessed like you with a head of hair. Believe it or not, everyone. He wears a hat all the time, but he's not one of us. Okay,
Well,
so
I have a full head. I don't have like right now. I actually did a pretty bad haircut on it, so I have a hat on for sure. But yeah.
okay, but the great part is it grows back. Okay, unlike most of us
Mhm.
or some of us here. So I'm not gonna harp on his wig because I wish I had it, even if it looked that bad.
I will
Shoot.
buy you that wig if you wear it, dude.
I'll
Oh
wear it on
my god,
the Moana review.
the
Yeah,
best. Oh,
I should actually
okay,
look into
guys,
that.
get
I should
ready.
look into that. I'm gonna not wear a shirt too. I have some tattoos here, so it'll work out. We're gonna
Yeah.
do that. One thing I do like though, being the live action, and I see that they added some of the cultural elements. I did like the part
Right.
where they're on the boat and they're kind of doing like they're dancing on it.
Mhm.
Um, I thought that was neat. So just like little themed elements, I guess.
Yeah, and
I
a lot
think
of that
developed
was
really well with the live action.
pretty. Yeah, a lot of that was underplayed in the animated version of it too. So giving
Mm-hmm.
the live action more chance to showcase the culture, always going to
Mm-hmm.
be a perk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think
And then
with if the songs are being taken out, they have that time to do little extra things if they're
I
going
don't
to
think the
make a
songs are
certain
being
length.
taken out. I think the songs are going to be in it.
See, yeah, I don't think all the songs are gonna be on it. I don't think so. We'll see though.
I don't know.
Let's see it. I don't
The
see
what's the one
Tamatoa doing that song.
that's the one I want. That's the one I want.
See, I
As
don't
long
see
as he's
it.
doing that song.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh,
I
dude,
don't
I
see
gotta
it.
have that song. That's the best. That's literally in my playlist. Is it too close to this movie coming out the first time for us to get a remake immediately?
It
I think
is.
like when we were
Yeah,
bringing back Jungle Book, that makes sense because there's a whole generation who doesn't
yeah,
know what Jungle Book is. This
yeah.
feels
When
like
you're,
shit.
yeah,
We just saw this in 4K.
exactly. I now would I rather have something 90s and before be remade? Yes. Do I think a couple things are a
Okay,
little too real? I just got done watching Hunchback of Notre Dame, one of my favorite movies of all time from Disney.
classic.
A little too real though, for I guess nowadays people get a little upset about stuff. Pocahontas, same thing probably.
Yeah,
So
never
I
hit
would
that.
love
Yeah,
to see that era back. So it does feel a little too recent, especially because Moana is so big still. I feel like in that Disney realm, but maybe that's what they're doing, capitalizing on that. Who knows? I don't know.
yeah.
What do you think?
I wonder if they
Do you
could
think there's
do
a reasoning?
Pocahontas. Now you got me thinking. Is there a way for them to do Pocahontas? If they were to like tell the true story, it would be a Snow White thing, right? Where people would be like, "Oh, you're changing it too much."
Yeah,
But I think you have to on that one because that's
I don't
just
know.
you know.
It's just who you try to please, right? The people that I mean, people love Pocahontas and they love the animated movie, and if you don't stick with it, we're going to be in an uproar. I'm one of those people. I don't really give
Well,
a
but
fuck about
if you
the
keep the
true
original
story.
music, the music in
Yeah,
Pocahontas is also quite good. But then I would bring on a team of native like a native council to help consult on it. I think there's something there. I think it would be smart because just like we're talking about here with Moana, you're able to showcase the culture more. You could literally do the same thing with Pocahontas.
Most definitely. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think it's too soon though? I mean, what do you think? You think there's a reason?
I think it's too soon. I think if you're able to buy it in 4K Blu-ray, then you don't need to remake it. And I could get this. I have it on Blu-ray, so we don't need another one. But
yeah, like Blu-ray not enhanced, like like originally released on Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Vault's not even a thing anymore. Remember when that was such a big deal? Like something would come out of the Vault, we'd all go buy it, and then I don't have the Vault anymore.
I used to pre-order those at the Disney store and you get the lithographs with it. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. God, so I worked at Toys R Us for a while there, and things would come out of the Vault, and I would switch because they had the paper cases on them. I would switch the paper case with something that already came out, so I can get the movie like 2 weeks in advance. So I would. So I remember very well. Aladdin was one of them I did. So I put like, I don't know, whatever movie over it, same price. I wasn't cheating anybody any money, but then I would scan a movie that's been out for a long time. We'll just say Beauty and the Beast for the example. And then would come home with a Beauty and the Beast on the outside and an Aladdin on the inside. And then I would make sure to get the Aladdin case later on when I did it again for the next movie that came out of the Vault. So I was sitting there, buy movies 2 weeks in advance. I thought it was a big perk of the job. Yeah.
Yeah. And now all the Toys R Us are shut down because of this one action.
All because of me, because I wanted to get Aladdin 2 weeks early, guys.
Well,
join SpongeBob and his Bikini Bottom friends on their biggest adventure yet. SpongeBob and Patrick dive into the deepest, darkest depths of the underworld where no sponge has gone before. The SpongeBob movie, Search for the SquarePants, is now available on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital. Let's get into some Daredevil Born Again. I'm asking every time, man, what was your initial reaction to the premiere of season 2?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty great. There's been times where I could see maybe some dullness coming in the later episodes. But yeah, it starts off strong as expected with the boat scene. And then it ends strong as expected as well with, we could just talk about it. Yeah, with the whole Bullseye thing. That actually shooketh me. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. I think because I haven't been keeping up too much of like what's to come, which I usually do. I say here, I like to be surprised. So that's always really helpful on a podcast that talks about geek culture, by the way. Yeah, but it's after the fact. It's after the. Oh yeah, you're right. I guess beforehand, but right now
the wide spectrum of knowledge is very helpful. I promise. I know that much.
But
Jessica Jones, by the way, is coming up in this season. I'm going to spoil it for you right now.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm kind of hoping that I'd be shocked and she don't come up, but whatever.
Don't even start with me. Don't even start with me right now. Holy shit,
crybaby little thing. God. Anyway, so. I like that a lot because I was a little confused. I was like, oh, is it Punisher? I didn't think he was going to be here, blah, blah, blah. And then it said Bullseye. It's like, okay, that's cool. But I can kind of see. I was tuned into a little bit of the political games and stuff like that, like Kingpin. And I like the whole Matthew Lillard popping up. That was cool.
Oh, he's such a...
And then him kind of being the way he is of like, hey, I don't know. I guess you could kind of be scared of him because of who he may work for and whatnot.
Right.
But he plays that too comfortable. Kind of guy.
That's the thing, right? He's comfortable in uncomfortable settings, and that makes you uncomfortable. It's like whenever you have a scene and like one of them's a mob boss or a villain, and he's eating, it shows that he's more powerful than the other person because he's more comfortable right there. Yeah,
that's exactly what they did. Well, yeah. Let me just. What's your initial reaction?
So I'm a big fan of it. I think that we are getting closer to what it feels like to have a Daredevil comic in your hand. First of all, it's no longer about like surviving the hallway scenes anymore. Like that was kind of the earlier Daredevil stuff. Obviously, cost effective to just put Daredevil with a bunch of guys swinging in a hallway. Now we actually have him jumping around a little bit with his weapons, which also feel more comic book accurate now as he's kind of jumping around a little bit more. And then even on the Fisk side, the duality of being a legitimate mayor alongside being straight up Kingpin in the white suit, that is what I'm here for. That's my favorite part of Kingpin is that duality, and he's not just trying to be. Last season, I thought he was hampered a little bit too much trying to be the nice guy. This one feels like it's Kingpin unleashed, and that's what I want. And same thing with Matt too. He feels unleashed as well, as he's now like even the Matt side of him is missing with all the missing posters. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. So my question for you is, I've heard a lot of this in a couple different reviews, and I can maybe potentially understand it. Are we saturating this last season with too many characters? I think that's my fear. I want to stick with just the whole Daredevil Kingpin thing. I understand that some characters are important to throw in there, but do you think are we going to potentially do too much, like adding this Matthew Lillard character in there, focusing also more on that's really excited to work with him, the
Oh, you
young
talking
one,
about
like his
Daniel,
apprentice in
like
a
the
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel. Yeah. He's now
Um,
deputy mayor.
that's right. That's right. I think that's where my fear is. I don't think it was so crazy this our first episode because I've been just thinking this as like setting, the setting.
Oh yeah, it's a
Uh,
lot of setup.
what
Yeah.
do you think? Can this maybe take too much away from what where the mission is?
Yeah, let's branch that out a little bit. So I think it's fine because I think a lot of these people are disposable, including Matthew. I think his character, Mr. Charles,
Okay.
will be done by the end of the season, and his job is to introduce. So I was fortunate enough to watch or I had the time to watch the Daredevil podcast that Disney themselves
Oh
put
yeah,
out, and for
yeah.
some reason didn't tap Geek for used to do. We'll have to talk about that
That's
Disney.
weird. Yeah, relook at our
Yeah.
contracts.
Yes, exactly. But in that podcast, they were talking about how like this is bringing Daredevil in his world outside of New York, and I think that's what Matthew Lillard's job, Mr. Charles' job, is to do. The first time we're introduced to him, we pan out to see that he's in Washington. He's talking to Miss Fontaine, which is Jolie Louise Dreyfus' character from Thunderbolts. So we're now branching out to the MCU, and we're branching out beyond New York. I think he's going to be dead at the end of the season, and he's probably going to be dead at the hands of Kingpin to show how strong Kingpin is, and I think that'll be fine. But the idea is just to
Hmm.
kind of use it, and then like even like with the lackey Daniel, he's disposable. I think his job is to show that even the people closest to Kingpin are starting to see how dangerous he is and will turn on him. I think Daniel will be one of those people that'll eventually turn on Kingpin,
Oh,
just
you
like
think so?
BB's kind of like working both sides. Yeah,
You think the reporter female is going to kind of
BB.
start
Yeah,
talking some BB? Okay, yeah, starts talking
yeah.
some sense into him and whatnot.
BB might be the character outside of Daredevil and Kingpin I'm actually the most excited for because first off, they're bringing
Okay.
a lot of her uncle back. You notice how much they're mentioning Ben
Yeah,
Urich, her
yeah, yep,
uncle,
yep,
which is
yep.
a really good character from season 3 or 4 from the
Mhm.
last show. Now, I have a feeling that she is the propaganda character, the anonymous character that dresses up like Fisk. And so, because at the end,
Okay.
yeah, at the end of the last season, she was talking to the commissioner and saying that this is not the only name that I report by and gave a business card to him. I think she reports under two characters. One is the propaganda mouthpiece, BB, and the other part is constantly countering herself, and that's the fake Mayor Fisk character. I think both of them are her. And so I can't
Yeah,
wait to
okay.
see how that pulls out and kind of like becomes a problem. Will she get Daniel to side with her? I think she's going to be a very interesting character. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you think about that more, she has that footage because she did the piece on like promoting, the mayor and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So if you kind of think about it, she has that videos already.
Mhm.
It's easy just to tailor what she wants to do at the end. How she kind of cuts it off and starts doing her own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how easy is it to pretend like, "Hey, I'm BB and I messed up by getting that fuck Fisk behind
Mm-hmm.
in the sign."
Mm-hmm.
But then if you're also the other version that you're like, make sure to get this angle so I can use it later on. So obviously both
Yeah.
sides of benefit. It's very much Peter Parker taking pictures of Spider-Man.
I like that.
I think that's where we're at right now.
Ooh, damn! I like that reference. That was good. Oh man,
Oh man.
that's funny. That's
What
funny.
about Heather? The former girlfriend. And here's my wild theory to you: she's
Mm-hmm.
seeing Muse walk around, and
Yeah, that was
they're
throwing me
doing
off.
the Dutch angle, which means that it's that tilting back angle, which means she's mentally unstable now, or it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a mental anguish on her to see him. I have a feeling that we're gonna get a new version of Muse, and it's gonna be her playing the character.
Damn, you
This
think she's
has
gonna be that
happened
messed up,
in the
huh?
comics in the past,
Mm-hmm.
where a woman became the new Muse and was seeing him walking around her all the time. So
Oh,
this is
then
actually
it's
literally happened.
yeah, it's kind of locked in for what that's going to be. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see her start getting that much twisted. Man,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. That's that part where I just don't look into things as much to be
I know.
surprised. And now
Yeah,
you're
yeah, I'm
like,
sorry.
damn, like can't even enjoy the series anymore. Like, fuck it, I already know what's
I'm
gonna happen.
sorry.
I'm just kidding. No, but I
It
would
could
love
be
to
oh,
see
and,
that
yeah, and her
transition.
morality is being tested too. The way she's like changing answers and stuff like that. The
Yeah.
more she does that, the more she'll and she's drinking a lot now, so she's
Yeah.
purposely drowning her thoughts and stuff. So it's all kind of coming up that way.
Dang, yeah, it is. That's actually really cool. Man, I would love to. I can't wait to see that transition of her just being so much falling apart and broken inside. And yeah, man, damn, basically being heartless because, like you said, she's changing those answers when no, she knows dang well that he's probably innocent or whatever that case was going to happen.
Yeah, technically, I don't think he's.
to get
That's the
free.
problem, right? Is separating because I don't. She doesn't know that Matt is Daredevil. Well, maybe she would have. No, I don't think she knows yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But yeah, but that idea of changing that answer, it's not that she doesn't know that he's a swordsman. It's that she is saying that it's wrong to be a vigilante and changing that answer because she's saying that he's now a psychopath. Beforehand, it's like, yeah, he's a vigilante, but he's not a bad person, is what her answers were showing.
Yeah.
Then the guy got on the phone with her, Hawthorne, saying like, no, that doesn't work for us. Make sure he's also a bad person and a vigilante at the same time. That's what she's changing. So equating those two together, eventually that's just going to make or break. And yeah, it's one of those things, like same thing with Daniel, where I could see there's some like morality gray areas I'm interested in exploring.
Dang, that's sweet. Okay. Dang, I like that. What
do you think about the Jessica Jones phone call? I like how they introduced it. The way that they were like, oh, we need to figure out how to invest. Well, who investigate. You know who can investigate this for us. And like, I'll make a call. And like they mentioned Jessica later on.
Yeah.
I think that was a smooth way to do it, not just her like stepping on set day one. It was tiptoeing her in.
Totally agree. I like how they even just said like, oh, we'll call Jess or I talked to Jess or something like that. Something so subtle that it's like kind of like that little Easter egg for us. They're like, oh, there it is type thing.
Yeah.
I don't care about Jessica at all. You know that. So
no? Okay.
we'll see. Yeah. I mean, maybe she's done being fucking or freaking little crybaby. But
I don't think she'll be that in this show. I will say, because we're not going to focus on her mental state too much, I would assume. She should just be the muscle.
And I hope so, only because I hope it doesn't just get convoluted like it's Star Wars, the latest trilogy, right? Where so many characters just showed up at the end. Like, who is this? Like, let's wrap things up.
Yeah.
But I did like that a lot. I did like that. We said just this like heroic scene where she's kind of panned up or something and oh my gosh, Jessica's here type thing.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
And that would feel very cheap. That would feel like we just got her because we needed a name. But actually expanding the world and making it feel real, like we need an actual investigator. Yeah. That makes sense to bring her in. Just like if she needed a lawyer, she would call Matt. You know, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Now, a question for you. You probably know this, and I don't, because again, I'm going to ruin a surprise for myself, probably. So, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Are we expecting these characters?
I don't believe we are. Luke Cage has been at Comic-Cons where he's talking about like not being in it yet. They all could be lying. Like you don't trust anybody in Marvel movies. I would want Luke Cage more than Iron Fist. Would you prefer Luke Cage or Iron Fist?
I think Iron Fist for the fact that it would bring like a different element to it, but hopefully it doesn't feel like it's too out of this New York world that they're building, because Luke Cage would fit better in it, you know. But again, I would just go back to saying I don't want to see any of them.
Side, White Tiger had an amulet that gave him powers, and they said it did, but they didn't make a big deal out of it in the first season.
Yeah.
So and we are getting White Tiger back in this season. We are getting White Tiger back in this season. His niece.
We're gonna get. Oh, you think it's BB? Who do you think it's gonna be?
No, not White Tiger's niece. What's her name? Gosh dang it! I can't remember. Angela or something like that. Yeah, but she was shown in the first season, but she's coming back for this one.
That was Karen was talking to her at the end, right? Or was that BB? That was BB.
No, Karen's talking to BB. Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't see her. Okay. Right. Yeah, I think that could potentially about to be happening. I was already expecting that from the first season because I've seen like the comic books of the female White Tiger. So I can definitely see that.
And she's become the more prominent White Tiger in more recent years. So
yeah. That part makes sense.
Yeah, but I like that in the end, it's still just Vincent D'Onofrio versus Charlie Cox. These two, they steal every scene they're in. Obviously, it's their scenes. Yeah. But just to hear Kingpin talking, I'm in. Or to see like the intensity, like when Matt Murdock is meeting with Cherry out there and they're kind of talking, I'm like, man, this Matt Murdock, he is Daredevil. He's not even Matt anymore. He just doesn't have his mask on right now. And that's obviously going to be a problem later on. I think we're going to see that Matt has lost himself in being Daredevil a bit, and that's kind of just a thing that happens to Daredevil. Just like, hey, Thor can't pick up his hammer again. It's a thing that'll happen.
You see Daredevil in a fat suit, just like Thor, long hair, just belly popping out of his Daredevil outfit.
More worried about Fortnite than anything else.
Yeah, that's right.
But I am digging this version of Matt Murdock. He seems so intense, and he seems so clear-eyed. Because like last season, it was a lot of that, like, well, I don't know if I should put on the suit again. And like, dude, get the damn suit on and start kicking some heads in. And he's doing that right off the bat.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. I was telling you earlier that I wanted out of this season is that next chapter of Daredevil. Like, stop messing around. Like, and it shows right now that no, he's on a vengeance tour, and the way he kills too or beats up
Yeah.
It's just so brutal. I love it.
It is. We are starting to see him kind of go a little too far, though. You notice that on the
Oh, I love it
the
though.
boat, he was kind of punching a little bit too much. I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, Matt." And so I think he might be losing it a little bit in the best way.
Yeah, which I love. Yeah, I enjoy the heck out of it. So I'm yeah, definitely ready for that. But Bullseye. So what do we what a little upset double cross thing? How much do you think he's gonna help Daredevil, or maybe it's just a one
Right.
off type thing? What do you think that's his future?
Oh, I have a feeling it's going to be a classic thing, like our villain is, the enemy of my enemy is my friend thing. They are going to
Mhm.
work together in stopping Fisk and that alone, because Daredevil, or I'm sorry, Bullseye specifically is pissed off at Vanessa, but also at Kingpin. I think that's where it's going to end. I can't imagine there's a moment that Matt will let him walk away, because he's the one that pulled the trigger on Foggy. Yeah, Vanessa might have paid for it, but at the end of the day, he pulled the trigger. So I could see him trying to capture Bullseye by the end. It would be hard not to. What do you think? Do you think he could
Yeah.
get? Do you think he can forgive him? I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, Daredevil's never killed anybody. He tried to kill him. He threw him off that building.
Yeah.
I don't think he has any love for Bullseye.
I think we're gonna get to the part where he's gonna let him go because he's gonna let himself go a little too far. Wonder if Bullseye, like you just mentioned, wonder if Bullseye is the one that's kind of the one to reel him back, which would be weird, right?
That
But
would
he
be,
could
yeah.
be. So if you think about it, like, hey, you helped me take down Kingpin. Oh man, what was it that let it happen? There was something I just watched recently that was kind of like, hey, thank you, you're off. You're going to do your thing now. But if I catch you again, you're going to be caught. I can see that
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, here's our deal. I can't
Oh, I like that.
let go of the Foggy thing, but because of the situation, I'm going to pretend like I didn't see you here, kind of thing. But if I catch you
Yeah.
again, then yeah, it's a done deal. I'm going to take you in, type thing. I can see that.
I could see something like that, because there's no doubt in my mind that Bullseye would eventually fuck up and still kill somebody and
Yeah,
get caught
yeah,
in the
yeah.
future. But I can see this thing where it's like he's trying to tell him, like, you have a chance at redemption. Go and be a good person, and then obviously, no. I mean, I could maybe see that happening. Yeah, that'd
Hmm.
be tricky.
I can see
It'll
that.
take some
Yeah.
good acting to have us believe that shit.
Yeah, and I think it could be a moment where it's all three of them, Karen Page, like being Karen Page there as well, and they might just be able to understand that Kingpin was this ultimate goal that's ruining the city. I mean, come on, he had
Yeah,
a boat just sunk in with crazy military weapons, and it's like, well, Foggy was just a lawyer, but
yeah.
not
That
so put
well,
down on him,
I
but
see what you're saying. Like, obviously,
yeah,
yeah, everything has escalated. Everything is,
yeah,
the scope is much
yeah,
bigger. Visually, I love that. By the way, I think this season too, we're also starting to see, like I said earlier, with the fight scenes, the way that they're more open and not necessarily in a hallway. Same thing with sinking a ship. Like, that's not cheap
mm-hmm,
to do.
mm-hmm,
To CGI that in. All these things are clearly like money being put towards Born Again. I think at the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of has a stopping point where we could be like, okay, let's pause here, because they already said that they're going to be working on Daredevil season 3. But I could see them saying, let's pause here. This is a good stopping point. The story's kind of wrapped up a little bit. Let's bring Daredevil into the couple of movies and then do Daredevil Born Again season 3 a
mm.
couple years down the road. I could kind of feel that vibe a little bit.
Now, okay, so Kingpin era would end here. Oh man, what would you want to see in like a season three if it's down the road like that? What are you thinking?
I would say Kingpin's era. If they're gonna end this season, they would
Oh,
probably put him in
Vanessa, we
jail.
talked about that.
Yeah, and Vanessa's the one
Mm,
that is not, tied down to only being in the TV show. She could be in movies, I
mm.
believe.
Yeah, yeah, I remember you saying that earlier. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it'll
like
be
that.
interesting to see if like, you're the one that caught it. I didn't catch it, but it's his assistant that's the one handing the key to Spider-Man in the
Yes.
movie.
Yes. Yes.
So Kingpin is not Mayor in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. My question, if I were ever to sit down with Kevin Feige, is like, where was Kingpin during the Thunderbolts? When you have the Void, Sentry, like
Mm,
just totally nuking people and then spreading this darkness over New York, was he also worried about Freeport, making sure that he can get guns into the city without paying taxes? You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like, I can't imagine Kingpin handling that crisis. It doesn't seem right.
yeah. Yeah. Right. Hmm. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Like, okay, so the I guess all this has like a pre all that or whatever, and then the season three you
Yeah,
kind of catch up to where the movies are and how they left off, and maybe make references to that whenever season
yeah.
three will take place. You know. Hmm.
One of the cameos I didn't think was on the table, but now suddenly is very possible is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Val, coming in, because now she's been name dropped. She was the one on the phone call that made things happen, and she's the one that sent Mr. Charlie. So I can see her also popping up at the end of this thing too, maybe taking a firmer control over New York, seeing that Kingpin has gotten out of control, is no longer like if Kingpin turns on Mr. Charlie and suddenly she needs to step in for where Mr. Charlie failed, Matthew Lillard, his character. I can see Joy Louis-Dreyfus stepping in and being like, all right, look, motherfucker, the new Avengers is coming in to save the day. Yeah, I can see that happening too.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that. I think because I knew, for some reason, I thought she was going to be in this season anyway. Did we see her on something? I feel like I saw
have
her on
not seen
something.
anything about her being in the season.
Oh man, maybe it was just like a little spoiler thing on Facebook or some type of social media thing.
Okay.
But that was something that I kind of expected it, and I didn't really catch it right away when it was mentioned. So I was like, man, she started to become that character, which is basically Matthew Lillard, where makes a joke of that whole thing, but she has like the power. Like she's not worried about nothing, which is, I mean, she plays very well. I just think of Veep the whole time. But,
exactly. It's hard for me not to.
Yeah, but she did. It's kind of like when Veep finally got her shit together. This is who she is, Val.
Yeah.
But
if she didn't win one of the presidency races or whatever, like that one that finally got her in, this is where she'd end up, because she was doing that. Like there was one season where she was just like globetrotting, trying to make herself famous.
Yeah.
I could see this becoming her.
Yeah, I think it's pretty great that we're just doing like the name drops instead of like an actual scene of a character coming on in. So it kind of does that build up, hopefully, like keep going, and then towards whatever that time frame, whenever it's appropriate for them to pop up, is when it'll feel like, okay, this is necessary. One thing that I was kind of expecting that we know that was talked about by Charlie Cox and ourselves was the whole spray painting of the suit. I thought that was something that we were going to get with the first episode, whatnot. Right. So it's kind of like a little confusion there with me of like, okay, are we just supposed to know that because it was mentioned, or we're gonna get it down the road type thing? Or
I saw the clip of them showing. I've seen the clip of him doing it, so it must be a flashback to him doing that. So we're probably gonna. That's a great point. We're probably gonna get a flashback.
Yeah. Which hopefully the flashbacks don't fill up too much and make us like kind of bored. Like I want to see the progression of the story itself. So hopefully it's not too much then. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't want the show to slow down. I think right now it's a pretty good pace. It's definitely had its slow moments, but that's expected with the Daredevil show. I say keep the pace from episode 1 going forward if you can. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Let's plenty of fights.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give this. Let's see. Out of 10, Jessica Jones. How many?
Oh, in that case, 0. But
I love Jessica Jones. I can't believe you don't like her.
Oh man. Yeah. Hopefully this is a redemption for me.
Yeah.
What are Daredevil's like sonar ratings? Let's do how many sonar ratings.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it. Are we doing out of 5? Out of 10? What do we
out
want?
Of 10.
Out of 10.
Yeah.
I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
8. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm comfortable with 8 as well. I think I'll stick with 8 as well. It was a lot of promise, and I'm excited for that. And there's some storylines I'm really excited, like BB and what will happen with Muse. I like that. I'm glad they didn't just drop the Muse storyline. That was very good.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think what it was for me was knocking it down for 1. It's not a 10 for sure, and the 9 with branching to different characters too much. That the whole setting up potentially future was kind of another knockdown to me. Yeah. Other than that, I thought it was pretty perfect.
Yeah. I think that's good. All right, guys, let us know what you guys thought about Daredevil Born Again season 2 premiere over on social medias. Let's get into the network stuff here. Distance Nerding. They just went down to, gosh dang it, Brickcentric. Oh, I remembered it. Yes. I got a ton of interviews with people down there. So go follow them right now. Phil's been texting me and emailing me. There's a bunch of clips that they're going to be showing off with all these little interviews. It's really cool. Outlast Podcast, we just did episode 5 of Survivor and the return of Rizgod. He is one of my top 5 survivors now. Over at Phantom Portals, the last episode they did was Muppet Treasure Island. They're working on the next one right now. And then again, as a reminder, Geek Freaks is going on a spring break. We're taking the weekend off to enjoy family and friends. That should be good. Recommendation time, man. What's your recommendation for the week?
Always on the spot. Not just kidding. My recommendation is actually something that has not been released yet. And since we're talking about Daredevil is having a new comic run. April 1st is going to be dropping the start of it, issue 1. And it's just called Daredevil 2026. And it's with the Lee Garbett, how to say his name. And he's worked on Thor, Immortal Hulk. I think one of the ones I like is Original Sin with Thor and Loki. So he's going to be taking that on. What I do like about this, what caught my attention, is the classic Daredevil look on the cover.
Yeah,
it's just him
the
in a
cover
full-on red
is
suit.
gorgeous.
Perfect. Just
yes,
something I read back when I was little, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, this is what I like in Daredevil. But yeah, he's gonna go back to the streets, kind of like uncover some secrets of New York. And I think the main villain, if I read it correctly, was Omen. Is going to be the main character, a main villain. I mean, sorry. Be on the lookout for that because that comes out in what, 2-3 days. So, yeah,
3 days. Yeah, it's written by Stephanie Phillips, who also did. Let's see, Planet Hulk is one of them.
Nice.
Imperial War. Oh, Planet She-Hulk. That's the one. And
oh yeah, I like that one so far.
Yeah, Red Skull. She's done quite a bit. The Phoenix. Oh, the new Phoenix books are good. So yeah, check that out, guys. And yeah, there's a few really good comic books that she did. Stephanie Phillips. The cover is really selling it to me. Yeah, I cannot wait, dude. I'm looking at the variant covers too. Like every variant cover is a purchase. Every one of those variant covers.
Oh yeah, I look at those. Oh man.
Yeah, there's some really sick ones there. Yeah. Okay, my recommendation for the week is if you're like me, you want more football in your life, and unfortunately, the NFC or the NFL is not year round. So what we do have that just started this week, and I'm a proud fan of, is the WNFC. That's the Women's Tackle Football League. That yes, it's been around since 2018, but this is the first year that Northern California has a team, and I'm happy to be rooting on a local team. I know, yeah, the Golden State Storm, dope ass logo. They just played last night. Wasn't a great game for them, but it's literally the very first game ever they played. And they played against the San Diego Warriors, and they are quite good. And so it was fun to watch. Production quality, stuff like that, obviously is on the low end because it is a brand new league, and it's only for 8 games. But it's just so fun to have tackle football back. I am really enjoying it. The commentators, I got to say, are quite knowledgeable, and I'm enjoying learning about these new players and some of the rules.
God.
One of the things that happened, the first play or the first score of the game was a pick 9. Now you're probably hearing pick 9 isn't a pick 6. In the WNFC, if the defense makes a touchdown, it's 9 points, not 6. And so it kind of makes it to where like suddenly the defense is more important. And there were some fumbles, interceptions. The defense was on fire last night. So a hell of a good game. It's just good to have football back. Again, Golden State Storm, that's my team. But make sure you guys check out the WNFC. There's teams around you somewhere. It's fun. And
yeah, they got smacked up 36-0. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a bad game. It was,
have you given the other football league a chance? I forgot what it is. UFL? United Football League?
Is that still going? I didn't see it going anymore. I thought, okay, I'll have to look into that, see if it's still going.
Yeah.
Or see where I could watch it or whatever.
Yeah.
I need some off-season sports, man. And like baseball, I can't get into it. Hockey, I can't seem to find, a place to watch it. I'm down to be like a San Jose Sharks fan or something.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I need something.
Be a Sharks fan right now. It always is, I guess, for the past years. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll be a Ducks fan then. At least I know the logo well. Yeah. They brought back the old one.
Yeah.
But I just need some sports in my life, man. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Geek Freaks. Hit us up with 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever you're listening on. We really appreciate that. Drop us a review. It's been a bit since we had somebody type out a nice new review. And keyword is nice. All right, everybody. Enjoy your spring break. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.